Hello, BookTube. I have a tag today. I'm still experiencing a bit of technical difficulties. I brought in my two teenagers to look at the laptop and the phone again, and maybe to investigate the possibility of filming on either the Kindle or the iPad. They were mystified as to the problem with the uploading of videos on the laptop, and one of them, the mouthier of the two, actually said, and I quote, "I guess you'll have to give up on your lame-ass booktube friends." And that's when I became all the more determined that that would not happen. I love my lame-ass booktube friends. So I will figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm still a little tenuous about this whole arrangement. So I'm going to do a great tag that I found on Julian Greystoke's channel. I wasn't tagged, but I think all of the fledgling community of RightTube was tagged implicitly, and it's the work in progress tag. Let's see here. Julian Greystoke appended a version of the tag, but the original was from Alicia Escobar, I think, and had a couple more questions. And since I love hearing the sound of my own voice, I added those in. So I've got the unabridged version, as it were. Question number one is, what is the working title of your book? And I have two, because, like all right-thinking people, I am participating in the Hot and Sticky Summer Novel Writing Challenge that has been put forward by the guys at Strip Cover Lit. But I'm also prepping for NaNoWriMo in November, and I'll be making videos about that. So, I'm not allowed to write anything of that book for NaNoWriMo. You do all your writing then. But in order to get that writing done, 1,600 words a day, you really have to plot ahead of time. So I am living in that book. So I get to count it here. So the Strip Cover Lit book is Hers the Convergence. And the working title of the NaNoWriMo book is Markowitz and the Mystery Woman. Question number two, where did the idea for your book come from? In the first case, Hers the Convergence, the idea came because I just recently reread Gail Christensen's biography of Isaac Newton. The story is about Isaac Newton. It was an odd moment. To get a little personal for just a moment, there's a thing, some of you might be too young to know this yet, but there's an odd feature to deep grief. It kills you, it flattens you at first, and then you recover from it, and you go on, and you laugh, and you make new friends, and it never goes away, though, and every once in a while it squalls up like a dust devil, and just flattens you again, out of nowhere. And I actually had that happen to me a few months ago, about my mother. I mentioned in an earlier video that she died. She's been dead for a few years now, and I really liked her, and I really miss her. And she gave me the Gail Christensen's biography of Isaac Newton called In the Presence of the Creator. She gave me a book. She kind of frowned on the whole idea of books. She said into her ninth decade, when confronted with the fact that she doesn't read, she would always say, "I'm saving my eyes." When she was approaching triple digits, I said, "Well, Ma, haven't you saved them enough already? You could splurge a little." But in the moment of that grief, I took the book down and reread it and realized there's a novel here that I would love to write. So that was the inspiration for that one. The inspiration for Markowitz and the Mystery Woman is that as I've mentioned on this channel, I have a sweet tooth for conspiracy theories. And I've watched an ungodly number of YouTube documentaries and videos and blog posts. I've read an ungodly number of books. And I figured a novel might be a way to use that stuff. Because the one thing you don't want to use that stuff for is writing a nonfiction work, because then you're one of them. So that was the beginning of both of those. Question number three, what genre does your book fall under? Hers the Convergence is historical fantasy, and Markowitz and the Mystery Woman is contemporary fiction. Question number four, what actors would you cast? There's a large cast of both books, but the main character, Isaac Newton, I would cast, believe it or not, Corbin Bleu. He's a young actor who is by far best known as the second lead male in High School Musical. Although he's whip shop smart. He's a really good, smart young guy, a great actor who will become famous for more than just that one show. I guarantee you, it'll take more time than it took with his co-stars, Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron, but it will happen. Like, for instance, his upcoming movie in which he plays the poet Ovid. But I would cast him as Isaac Newton. And for Markowitz and the Mystery Woman, there are two main characters. There's Markowitz, the guy who's lost in conspiracy theory world, and for him, I would cast Devin Gummersall, who's a great young actor who most of you, if you know him at all, you'll know him from My So-Called Life. But he's brilliant. He would be perfect for Markowitz. And as Julia, as the young woman who just might save Markowitz from the madness from the rabbit hole of the conspiracy theory mind frame, I would cast Jennifer Jason Leigh, who so impressed me in The Hateful Eight that I think she can do no wrong now. Question number 5. What is a one-sentence synopsis, the so-called elevator pitch of your book? And for Hers the Convergence, it would be, I wrote it down here, Isaac Newton has always visited a fantasy land called Math. Now it comes visiting him. And for Markowitz and the Mystery Woman, it would be Benjamin Markowitz sees conspiracy plots everywhere, and the worst of them all might just be love. Sorry, I actually grew up making elevator pitches, so I'm a bit treacly at them. Question number 6. Will your book be self-published or traditionally published? Well, I assume it will be neither. I don't have the skills to self-publish, and I don't have the sadomasochism to try the conventional route, where it's a popularity contest and it's about headshots and random chance and catching an agent on the right day with the right lunch and then having to deal with the agent's dictatorial commands before you even get to the dictatorial commands of the publisher. Oh, I assume it will be neither. If there were an actual push-button, completely easy way to publish something without needing to know any kind of HTML formatting, then I might do it that way. If there were an audience for either one of these things, I'm not really sure. Question number 7. How long did it take you to write the first draft? Well, neither one is completed. Hers, the Convergence, will take 4 months. That's the length of the Hot and Sticky Summer Novel Writing Challenge. And Markowitz and the Mystery Room will take 1 month. That's the length of NaNoWriMo. Question number 8. What other books would you compare your story to? I actually don't have a comparison. The damaged but worthwhile main character that is kind of the spine of Markowitz and the Mystery Woman has some relation to some things that I've seen in the fiction of an author named Joe Meno, who I really like. But I don't know that I'd compare it to that. I'll have to. I know that I will have to come up with comparisons later on, so I'll have to think about it a little more. And the historical fantasy elements of Hers the Convergence owe a lot to Robert Nye, who just died. But not everything to him, so I don't know. Question number 9. Who or what inspired you to write the book? Julian Greystoke wisely, I think, avoids the word inspire in favor of the word trigger. And, you know, for the thing that triggered my desire to write these books would be the Isaac Newton biography and all of the conspiracy stuff that I read and watch. I don't like the term inspire because it's another one of the million things that takes responsibility for some part of your book out of your hands and therefore excuses you from failing to write. An author who says that they have an inspiration for a work is off the hook if that inspiration winks out. That bothers me. No excuses. All the responsibility of writing rests on you completely. And question number 10. What else about your book might pique readers' interest? If those elevator pitches don't do it, I don't know what will. Certainly won't be the prose. And that's it. That is the work in progress tag. And I don't have a specific person that I want to tag. I want to tag all of the writers out there, all the people who will eventually become WriteTube. If you're working on something, then do this tag. It's a lot of fun to think it through. And I'll see you next time, BookTube. Thank you.